Hi everyone, we are live at Mount Kearsarge Indian Museum in Warner, New Hampshire. Good morning. Normally at this time, we would be welcoming school groups through the museum for tours. My name is Anna. I've done many tours before for hundreds and hundreds of school children. At this time, we are closed to the public. But we miss our students, we miss our teachers, so hope some of our friends can tune in today for a little tour of the Great Plains. If you have questions, put them below in the comments. Myself or other staff members will try to answer the questions for you. And if this works, we may do this again in a different area of the museum. You can also put down your suggestions and comments in the comments below. So let's get started on the Great Plains. The Great Plains is one of several areas we have in the museum. It's really popular with school kids. The reason being, I think, number one, what you're staring at right now is that teepee. School kids who come through here, they love the teepee. The teepee is a great home for the tribes living in this area. Why? Because it's portable. You can take it down quickly and move from place to place. And the tribes living in the Great Plains were definitely on the move. So they needed a home like this that was easy to take down. So we have a teepee inside the museum. We also have a teepee outside the museum. If you've been here before, you've seen both the teepees. Now, another reason why this area is very popular with our school tours is because of that animal that you see mounted on the wall. That is the Great American Bison. We teach the kids to use the correct term, bison, not buffalo. So that's a pretty big animal. The way it's mounted on the wall there is actually representative of the height of the animal. The tribes living in this area would get just about everything they needed from this animal in order to be able to survive. And when I say everything, I mean everything. First of all, of course, meat. Lots and lots of meat. I think each animal could provide 500 pounds of meat. That's a lot of food to feed your family. Also, of course, the fur of the animal could be used for various things, maybe to stuff pillows or trim your mittens. One of my most favorite things is the rawhide. The rawhide, which is the skin of the animal. So the rawhide could be used to cover the teepee or to make drums, shields, actually the soles of the moccasins. All sorts of things could be made with the rawhide of the animal. Okay, I'm getting some comments here that there might not be sound. I think people can hear me. If you can't hear me, you might want to check your settings on your computer or your phone. I'm hoping people can hear me. So I'm talking about the Great American Bison and all the things that you can get from this animal. Now, let's move towards this case a little bit. Very much a favorite with our visitors. I'm going to kind of walk towards the stomach of the animal. And I know this is kind of gross, but hey, this is like a container from nature. This can be used to hold water or liquids like a canteen. So this is the stomach of the animal. Right next to it, we have the bladder of the animal. It looks kind of like a balloon, but it's really the bladder. And this also could be used to hold liquids. So this is really cool. If you get a chance to visit sometime in the future, when we are open again, you'll find out that no part of this animal was wasted at all. And I I mean, actually very, very, very little waste. So this is really, really popular with school kids. Okay, good. I'm glad you hear me. Hello. So it looks like most people can hear this video. So as I move through the Great Plains, and again, this is just meant to be a brief overview, not really the whole tour that you would receive, but I'm just kind of walking towards another area that's really, really popular when we walk through the Great Plains. And if you can see ahead of me, there is a model of a horse. Now the lights will go on as I get a little bit closer. Thank you. So look what's happened here. And this is truly amazing. You take the poles of your teepee and crisscross them on the back of the horse to make a sled called a travois. And you load all your belongings on here. And this is how you move from place to place. When the Spanish came in the 1500s and brought horses to this area, well, this made life a lot easier for the tribes living here because now transportation becomes easier. Transportation is a huge, huge theme here at the museum. Whether we talk about horses or canoes or dog sleds or whatever, we talk about it as we move from place to place. Oh, you're welcome. Someone just said thank you for doing this. I can see your comments, which are great. Thanks for tuning in. I'm showing there's 14, 15 people online with me right now. Another part of the plains, which is really, really popular, is this magnificent eagle feather headdress that, wow, this is on loan to us. It's, I believe, from the 1800s. It is magnificent. You have to see it in person. You could earn an eagle feather for each good and brave deed that you did. And so, wow, someone who wore this would have been a very, very brave figure who did many, many good things. We should all be like this. And the saddle. The saddle is beautiful. I mean, it's just a saddle, right? But look at the beading on this thing. I mean, someone took the time to make this into a work of art. It's really beautiful. These patterns that you see, these geometric shapes, okay, this is kind of like from the Plains area. This would be the types of designs that you would see in this area. In the Northeast, it might look a little different. They would use more flowers and things like that in their beading, but I really like the geometric shapes that you would see in the Plains. So this is a saddle, and it's very different from a Western saddle. So I'm going to keep going through the Plains, and I'm just kind of looking at some of the content, some of the questions, I should say. Sorry, it's hard to read and do this at the same time. So Linda's helping me out by typing what I'm saying for the people who can't hear, which is very nice. Thank you, Linda. Thanks for joining us. Okay, another thing that's kind of special to me, and I really like this artifact a lot, that little dress on the right is a child's jingle dress. If you look at the hem of the dress, there are little metal cones sewn into the hem. When you dance, this makes a beautiful sound. If you've ever been to a powwow here, you will see dancers wearing jingle dresses. This would happen to be a child's jingle dress. The reason I like this artifact is because I have a book at home called Jingle Dancer, which I actually read in a previous post if you want to share that with your children. And so it talks about a girl and getting her jingle dress ready for powwow. So I read that book when my kids were little. I can share it with you. You can check it out on a previous post. And this is kind of why I like this artifact so much. So some of the pieces here are made with brain tanned leather. I kind of forgot to mention that back when I was with the bison, that the Native Americans would take the rawhide, the skin of the animal, and then use the brains of the animal to work it into the rawhide in a process that would then turn it into brain tanned leather. Okay, so here's a scientific fact for you. Each animal has enough brain matter to tan its own hide, which is absolutely amazing. Now, that's something we could offer in the future, a brain tanning workshop, and that would probably be very interesting. I don't think I would do it, but some of you might really, really like that. And then just one last area I wanted to touch on. We have some cradle boards here that are on display. These are really nicely decorated. I think these come from all over. Different designs, a lot of intricate beadwork here. Well, I want to thank you all for tuning in. This was actually a lot of fun. If you didn't get a chance to tune in, you can watch this video on replay. You can post your comments and questions in the comments. We will do our very best to try to answer them for you. We really look forward to the time when we can welcome you to the museum again, when we can open our doors and have visitors, not just the school children and their families, but visitors from all over the world. We really, really look forward to that time. Don't know when that's going to be just yet, but it will happen eventually, and we'll be ready. Again, thanks for listening. If you have special requests of an area you want to visit next, let us know. We'll try to accommodate you. We're on Facebook. We are on Instagram. You can check out our website, indianmuseum.org. It's open 24/7 online. Stay safe out there, folks. Stay healthy, and thank you very, very much for tuning in today for our very first Facebook Live event. We're going to call it Facebook Fridays. Thanks a lot. Bye.